Good afternoon, ladies. Hello, hello. Just getting ourselves started. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Let me get this a little bit. Whoop, a little too much. Hello. Kathy, it just might be you and I today. We'll see. I know this was last minute. Finally got the power on. So we'll see who can all join us. We'll give it a minute. I think I'm a little early. So how are you doing, Kathy? Hope you're staying warm. Okay. We're live, y'all. Letting everybody get on. Give them a couple minutes to get on. We'll see who all joins us this afternoon. Hello, hello. Good afternoon, ladies. Hope you're all doing well. Staying warm. Yeah, you're starting to thaw, Kathy? Well, we're starting to thaw right now, but we just got another warning that another wave is coming through tonight. Another really cold wave. So we shall see what happens. If we can get through tonight, I think we'll be good. Because then I think the temperature, it's going to drop tonight and then from then on rise. And then apparently next week's supposed to be 70. I mean, only in Texas, y'all. It could go from 0 to 70 in a couple days. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Good afternoon, ladies. Welcome, welcome. I know it was last minute. I was supposed to be live yesterday, but because of power outages, our phones went down, power went down, water went down, everything went down, internet, just literally everything. So I could not get the live going. Yeah, but today, we woke up, everything was up and running, so that's a good thing. Okay, I'll give it about another minute. We'll see who can join us. Otherwise, people can watch us on replay. Where do I live? I live in Houston, Texas. Kathy, 60 degrees out by you next week? Yeah, it's supposed to be about 70 for us. We shall see. Who knows? So yes, Laura, yeah, Houston, Texas. Or Katy, Texas, really, but yeah, Houston. Welcome. It just might be us, a few of us today. I know a lot of people have their power out. Like in Texas, still, a lot of my friends have had their power out since Sunday. And a couple of them texted me today and they still have power out. So I'm like, y'all, just come to our house, come on over. But at one point... Oh, Laura, you live north of Fort Worth. So how's the weather out by you? Is it supposed to warm up? We're supposed to get another cold spell tonight. And then it's supposed to warm up. So Kathy, we are going to be, I am in John 15, verses 9 through 17. We're going to be focusing on Christ-like love. But I'm sure you can find this verse in the other Gospels as well. But I'm going to be in John. So, John 15, verses 9 through 17. But yeah, I know a lot of people here in the group who are in Texas still have power out. I know Marpy was one of them. She was saying she still has power out. She lives literally pretty close to me. So I said, come on over, or do you need anything? I've been telling all my friends, come on over. House is warm. We've got a fireplace. We could all huddle in front of the fireplace if we need to. But yeah, Texas is definitely not cut out for this type of weather. And I think what surprised them all was that when the ice storm hit, we've had snow on the ground for the last 3 days. That is unheard of in Texas. If it ever does snow, which is very, very rare, it'll flurry down and then, an hour later it's gone and melted. but we have had snow and ice for the last 3 days. And I think what Texas is not equipped for is they don't insulate their pipes as well as like up north, their power grids, things like that. And I think what kind of took them by surprise was maybe everybody using all their gas and power, and it overloaded the power grids and what have you. Plus they got frozen, and I don't even know what all. So things got frozen. The wind things got frozen, so they weren't providing any energy whatsoever. And people's pipes were bursting all over. So that's kind of the situation it's been in. Roads on the ice. So all the roads were shut down for a couple of days, at least here, because of ice. And there were there was a 100-car pileup, a 15-car pileup. I mean, they were just, you couldn't control your cars because I guess they make the asphalt differently here as well as versus up north. Plus, if you get ice on it, it just gets slick. And we don't have snow tires or anything like that here. So people were getting car pileups. It was very dangerous on the roads. People were running out of gas because they were using their generators because we were out of power. So all the gas stations are out of gas. All the grocery stores were out of groceries. So it was kind of like Armageddon down here. I say, like, people with pipes bursting literally every other day. Someone was like, a pipe burst, a pipe burst, a pipe burst. And so people were running to Home Depot, calling plumbers. And I guess right now there's like months long waiting lists for plumbers. They can't get to your house until like June right now. Which is crazy. And the parts are all gone. So there's been lines around Home Depot, like 4 or 5 hour lines around Home Depot for people getting parts. And it's just chaotic right now. So yeah, I'm just hoping everybody stays warm, stays safe. Just try to, we just been trying to stay in our house as much as possible. So we're not out in the craziness. So, but yeah, our power went down just for a little brief moment comparatively. Like I said, I've had friends who have been out of power since Sunday. Power, water, and phones. So it's been a situation, and I feel really nervous about the people who like need, medical stuff, that needs to be powered, or oxygen tanks or things like that. So if you don't have a generator, that could cause a really, really big problem. Or older people who can't stay warm, or if you don't have a fireplace in your house or whatever. So it's literally all about like neighbors helping neighbors right now, and just all of us huddling together and trying to stay as warm as possible. We're doing good. Us personally, we're doing good. And so like I said, I've been telling people, if you need help, please, please, please let us know. All that. So that's where we're at. So yesterday, I was out of power, out of phone, out of everything. So I couldn't do my live, but we're here today. Woohoo! And I see we have a few joining us, so welcome. Thank you all for joining. I know it's been crazy, and I know up north, you guys are getting hit hard too. I know you're a little bit more used to it, and your pipes and stuff can deal with it better than ours. But still, it's freezing, it's cold, it's dangerous. So y'all, I hope you all are staying warm. So I'm gonna open up in prayer. Whoever can join us can join us. They can watch us on the replay, whatever. I'm just glad to be with y'all. So Laura, you said the love of neighbors right now really is a show of God's love. Yes, it has been. Yes, I saw somebody posted on Facebook. No matter what the news says about how there's looting and rioters and this and that. No, we have not seen any of that at all. And they put it up on Facebook saying, you know what? I have not seen any of that. No matter what the news is telling you, all we have seen are neighbors helping neighbors. Neighbors helping each other plug up their busted pipes, or bringing them over food, or everybody huddling together around fireplaces or what have you. And it has been, it's been a pure picture of Christ-like love. And I just, love it. And this, again, I did a Bible journal page this morning by myself, and I filmed it. I put it up on my YouTube page, so I will put it up tomorrow on our page. But it's about being prepared. Of the parable of the 10 virgins, about being prepared. And again, it's so relevant to what we're going through now. And then this page about Christ-like love and showing that love, being an example of that love, is just another pure great example. And I see it all around. So it has been a pleasure, yes, to say the minimum of seeing that. So hi, Sandy. Welcome y'all. Okay, so I'm going to open up in prayer. and then we'll start crafting, y'all. We can all chat. So I just want to calm our hearts in front of the Lord and just say, Lord, thank you again so much. Just, oh my gosh, thank you for the little blessings in life. Thank you for the things that we take for granted, and help us not to take those things for granted ever again, or, just anything, whether it be power or warmth or heat or food or anything, the fact that we can get in touch with our friends and family through the phone. Lord, I'm so blessed and thankful for this time together with these ladies, and that we can go live and that we have the technology to do this. And Lord, I'm so grateful for the love that you have shown with your ultimate sacrifice, showing the ultimate true portrayal of pure love. And please, Lord, help me never, ever to take that for granted. Out of anything else, I don't ever want to take your sacrifice and your pure love for granted, Lord. And Lord, I pray that for those who just aren't feeling your love right now, or feeling your comfort, or feel like the world is just crashing in on them right now, Lord, I pray so deeply that you can show your comfort and love to them in such a tangible way that no matter what, they know without a doubt that it is you, Lord. So show yourself in their lives and show your love to them. Oh my gosh, it's in Jesus' holy, holy name that I pray. Amen. Thank y'all so much for joining me. You might hear my husband in the background, y'all. He's on a conference call. His office is next to mine, and he talks loud, but we'll just ignore him. Everyone's home from work because of all the ice and stuff. My son's even been home. He had a really hard time getting home from work one night. There was a 15-car pileup, and it was scary. He was not in it, thank God, because he's already been in a car accident this year already. But yeah, he was just going really slow coming home. So he's been home. They've let him stay home since he lives so far away from the base. They have an emergency crew out there, so it's been a little chaotic, to say the least. But yes, I am ready to get in the Word. So yes, we are in John 15, verses 9 through 17. And really, this one, the title here is Christ-like Love, and it says, "As the Father has loved me, I have also loved you. Remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you these things so that my joy may be in you, and your joy may be complete. This is my command, love one another as I have loved you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command you. I do not call you servants anymore, because a servant doesn't know what his master is doing. I have called you friends." Y'all, he calls us his friends. Isn't that awesome? "Because I have made known to you everything that I have heard from my Father." It's like God, Jesus doesn't keep secrets from us. It says he has made known to us everything he has heard from his Father. "You did not choose me, but I chose you. I appointed you to go and produce fruit, so that your fruit should remain, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he will give you. And this is what I command you, love one another." That's our command, y'all, is to love each other. So today's page is going to be called No Greater Love, because it says there's no greater love than one to lay down his life for his friends. And Jesus didn't just lay down his life for his friends, y'all. You all know that. He laid down his life for people who are going to spit in his face, for people who are going to deny him, everything. And he still willfully and willingly and happily and joyfully laid down his life for that. I don't know if I could do that, y'all. I know I can lay down my life for my family, but for an enemy, boy, that is just love on another level, don't you think? So I'm going to take a red pen, and I'm just going to highlight this verse that we're focusing on today first. So I sent y'all the picture. I just kind of sketched this out. I saw a picture on another Bible page, and I just kind of looked at it and sketched it out on my own. And then I took my carbon paper and just transferred it into my Bible. So I did prep my page with some gesso, because I have something on the back, and I don't know how it would react, and I'm going to be using watercolor. So I did do that ahead of time. Whoop, there went my cap, y'all. And then we are going to... Doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but you know, I'm just going to do that. Okay. Welcome, welcome, ladies. So glad you can join us. I'm going to just move that out of the way because I'll do something bad with that if I don't. Okay, so I have all my watercolors here. These are my cheap watercolors. I think they were like $1. They're like my little kids' watercolors. I have my watercolor brushes and some water here. And that is literally pretty much all you need. Maybe some colored pencils. If you want some washi tape for later, we can add a few things. And then maybe some stickers for the title. Or you can even, you know, draw your own stickers. So I am going to take my medium brush, and right now I am just going to take these dark reds, like a dark red, because you know blood is it's not pure red, it's kind of like a crimson red. So I'm kind of gonna mix them. It's like a dirty red, I guess. And I am just gonna do the background first, and just kind of splatter just a base color, I guess, on here first. So this is like I'm just going around, I'll lose my vocabulary. I'm going around the thorns with the watercolor. Oh my gosh, y'all. Every time I like get on camera, vocabulary just goes out the window. You can get like shades of dark red, light red. I'm going to go back in. I'm just doing a base coat first. And then we can go back in and do more. But while we're doing this, I looked up a few things, and I remembered a few things about, kind of about this. So when Jesus died, I know Diane touched on this. I've been trying to keep up with y'all, even though my power's been out and my phone and everything was out. I've been trying to keep up with all the lives and stuff, and Diane's teachings and all that. I know she touched on this a little bit when Christ died. The veil to the Holy of Holies tore in two. And I always found it fascinating. So a while back, I did a little study on that on my own to kind of get myself a little bit more acquainted with that. So I wanted to tell y'all a little bit about what I found. So first of all, let's see, the veil. Hey, oh my gosh, Marpy, you are on. I thought you didn't have any power. How's that going? I mean, I know you can still have your phone. At one point, our internet and phone and power were all out, so we didn't have it all. Hope you're staying warm, Marpy. Let me know if you need anything. We're doing good so far. So far, everything's working. So, y'all, I'm going to tell you right now, if all of a sudden I pop off, that means our power went out. So, I'm hoping it doesn't happen. But this is what happened yesterday. We were going along fine, and then all of a sudden everything popped off. So if that happens, y'all, that just means power went off. So yesterday afternoon. Oh, so you have your power now, Marpy? That's good. Okay, so going back to the veil. So I don't know if any of you have ever studied about the veil that was in between the Holy of Holies and the most holy place. So you know the temple was divided between the outer court and then the inner courts, and then you had the holy place, and then the Holy of Holies. Oh, you're still on rolling blackouts, Smarpy? Ugh, I know, it's a big pain. Big pain. So, gosh. Y'all, my husband's distracted. I'm hearing him in the background as well. Sorry, y'all. I don't mean to be so distracted. But okay, so the veil. Let's get to the veil, y'all. So it was made of fine linen. The colors were blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. A lot of the women would embroider it. Now, the blue stood for the heavens, like the celestial. The purple stood for royalty. And then the scarlet, of course, stood for, like what we're doing here, sacrifice and the blood. On top of that, the figures of cherubim were embroidered into the veil. So cherubim were the angels. those were also the angels that stood on top of the Ark of the Covenant, that were made in gold on top of the Ark of the Covenant. So they guarded the throne of God. They were also on the innermost covering of the tent. So that, remember, in Moses' day, the tabernacle was a tent in the wilderness. And in the tent, they would have coverings of different types of skins, whether it was, they had linen, they had skins of animals, so they had like 3 or 4 different coverings on the tent, okay? So on the very inner covering of the temple, if you looked up, you would see cherubim figures up on the ceiling as well. So they were embroidered on the innermost, I guess you'd call the innermost, what's the word? Covering on the inside. So if you looked up, you would see cherubim, hanging, on the ceiling as well. Okay, so that was in the tent of tabernacles. Now in the actual temple, like Solomon's temple, or like the temple that was, Herod's temple, the one that Herod redid in Jesus's day, the veil would separate the most holy place, or the holy place, from the holy of holies, or the most holy place. So the only person who can go into the most holy place, or the holy of holies, was the high priest, and only once a year on the Day of Atonement. Okay, so the holy of holies, there was no windows inside there. The only thing that was in there was the Ark of the Covenant, and then with the cherubim, guarding over it. And the only person who can go in there was the high priest, only once a year. And so you figure there's no windows in there. It was a perfect square, or perfect cube, length, width, and height all equal like 15 feet. So it was a perfect cube. And it was blocked by this veil. So no light was coming in there at all. Okay, so you got to picture that. Like it was kind of mysterious and kind of a little scary, like if you know that you can go in there and you can get killed if you weren't, sanctified the right way, or washed the right way, or whatever. So it was kind of a scary moment going into the Holy of Holies. Okay, so once you get in there, so this big veil is covering that. So the veil now, this I found really fascinating. The veil was a picture of the barrier between God and man, okay? And it was about 60 feet high. That's really high, y'all. So 60 feet high. It was clipped at the top with gold, like loops, clips. And gold, of course, meant deity. So everything in the temple signified something. The measurements signified something. If you do numerology, do the numbers, the meaning of numbers in the Bible, all that meant something. What each item was made out of meant something. The height, the width, everything. What it was attached with, everything meant something. So they were attached by these gold hooks at the top. 60 feet high, 30 feet wide. And what was fascinating, the part that I found fascinating, was the veil was about 4 inches, let me grab this, 4 inches thick. So if you guys look at this ruler, 4 inches thick, that's how thick the veil was, from here to here. They say it's about the width of a hand, so about 4 inches. That's how thick this veil was. I mean, imagine that. So this veil was super heavy, super, like dense and dark, and it would keep, all light out except for the glory of the Lord out, of course. I'm going to let this dry a little. So as we're talking, so it was 4 inches thick, okay? So there's no opening. Another thing you have to realize, there was no opening on this veil. So the veil hung 30 feet wide, 60 feet high, 4 inches thick. So I always just assumed that the high priest was going to like there's like a slit in it and he'd just open the slit and walk in. No, it was one full sheet of linen, it was one piece. There was no slit in it. So what that meant is the high priest had to bend or kneel, which showed worship. He had to kneel and go under the veil to get in the Holy of Holies, because there was no slit in this veil. It was all one piece, okay? So then the other fascinating thing about this is when Jesus died, we're told that the veil was torn from top to bottom. Now remember, this veil was 60 feet high. No human can reach it. It was 4 inches thick. So to tear this, no human could tear it. No human, and it was torn. So in those days, it was custom that when you were mourning or when someone died, a person would tear their clothes, tear their shirt. And they usually tore it, I'm going to bring my shirt, y'all. They tore it from the top down. So they would just tear their shirt from the top down because it was them who were mourning. So whoever was mourning would tear their shirt. So what this was signifying this was God mourning. So when Jesus died, it was torn from the top down. God tore that 4-inch thick veil all the way down. It was his way of mourning. Okay. And then it was also, now God was making his presence available to all. Okay. So I'm too busy talking. Okay. I'm going to start coloring the thorns. I'm going to do it kind of tan and yellowish for now. And then we'll keep talking. Okay, so that was God's way of mourning, was by tearing that veil. That was his way of mourning. But it was also his way of making his presence now accessible to all. Now, not only can the high priest go into the temple, but now everybody could. It was available to all, which I find really cool too. Again, that's God making his way accessible to all, right? I forgot these little areas here in red. Okay, so the torn veil then illustrated Jesus' body broken for us, and also the opening the way for us to come to God. So the ultimate sacrifice had been offered by Jesus, and now we are free to come into the presence of God. And I love that symbolism of that whole thing. But again, I love, just when you do the study of how thick and big this veil was, it's just incredible. There's some red places I gotta go in there too. Right now I'm just putting the first layer on these. I always go in and do it really quick, and then I go and add more detail to it as I go. Okay, so then, if you take the veil idea, and then we go to the tomb. So after, Jesus has been laying in the tomb, and it's the 3rd day, and Mary and the women come to the tomb to anoint Jesus's body. What do we see? We see that the tomb, the stone of the tomb is rolled away. So again, if you look and study that, oops, I don't need to get the nails. The nails will be a different color. So if you study and look at that again, do you think Jesus needed the stone rolled away for him to get out? No, of course not, because we read later on in the scripture that Jesus was able to appear to his disciples in a locked room. He had that supernatural resurrected body that he did not need to open doors or what have you. So he definitely did not need that stone rolled away for him at the tomb for him to get out, right? He could have gotten out on his own, right? So again, that's God again showing us that he rolled that stone away so we, again, humans, have access to him. So Mary and John and everybody who came to the tomb, Mary and the women and the disciples, they had access to him. So again, that's God doing that again, where he is making it accessible to them. He's making himself accessible to the people, to his people. So I love that too. That's just another picture. It's always God making himself accessible to us, which just blows my mind, And Jesus' whole death was to make God accessible to us. But so, this is starting to, I'm going to have to, where's my paper towel? I'm going to have to dry this before I can go in with second layers because it's all just starting to smoosh together. There's one other area here. I missed a few of the inner areas here. For red, yeah, see? Yeah, I'm going to have to dry this real quick. So let me grab my dryer, my heating tool. Sorry, y'all, I know it's loud and I don't have one of those quiet ones. So this is just my first layer. I always like to just get like a first layer on there so I feel like I'm actually accomplishing something. But with watercolor, the best thing to do is do it in layers and dry in between layers, because if you keep coloring with the watercolor, it will all just kind of meld into each other and start turning into mush and mud if you don't dry in between. So there's a few areas that I'm just kind of putting the red in between. I don't know where the thorns go and where they don't, but we'll just kind of, some of these will be thorns, some of these will be open areas. So yes, Kathy, the veil was super thick, and most, I mean, that's according to most Bible experts, I guess. That's what they're saying. So all my research, they all pretty much say the same thing, that that's about how thick it was. So yes, it was a very thick curtain. And so that even gives you more of a perspective on how hard it was to have it torn. And that's why that was considered such a miracle in the people's eyes, because no human would have been able to do that at all. Okay, so again, so the stone was rolled away, not so Jesus could get out, but so people could get in to see for themselves. Again, more access to God. God is always like giving us access to him, which I love. I love that. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with some darker pieces for like shadows and different areas. Ooh, that's really dark. If it gets too dark, just grab some water and just kind of, this is more like a purple. I should mix some brown. Make it like a, ooh yeah, like a dark, you know, because when you bleed, it's not bright red, it's more of a brownish. And then I'm just kind of smearing it. And we'll do splatters and stuff too, of course. Gotta add some splatters. So I found that just fascinating with the veil, and just how God is always, he just always, just, I don't know, just always is just so great. Always like, the more I discover and the more I learn, the more I'm just like, wow, God, only you know? Yes, Marpy, it's like ripping a phone book. That's how, you know, how crazy it would have been. Okay, and then another thing that I was kind of always fascinated on was the titulus, and that it was called the titulus crucis, which is Latin for the title of the cross, and that was that wooden plaque that they put over Jesus's head on the cross, you know, and what that was, it's the wooden tablet that it was covered by gypsum and written in black letters normally, and it was the charge of whatever they were, you know, the charge of the crime of whoever was being crucified, and it was used as a warning for others. So anybody coming along on the road would read that and see, like, oh, this guy he did this, you know, and this is what he got, you know, kind of thing. So it was a warning for others, and it was called the titulus. And if you look in John 19 verses 17 through 22, Pilate at one point the Jewish scribes and such wanted Pilate to write one thing on the titulus, on that wooden block. But Pilate at one point said, do not write the King of the Jews, but write, I am the King of the Jews. Which doesn't seem like a big deal, and it probably wouldn't seem like a big deal, but if you go into it and study it some more, that little change that Pilate said to write, and he didn't even know what he was doing. I really don't think he didn't know. But that little change made it say something else, and I'll show you in a second. So it was written in 3 languages: Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. So Hebrew was for the Jews, the Greek was for just the wanderers, and Latin, I think it was either, Latin was for the Roman officials, Greek was for the the people, just the people who weren't Romans. Greek was usually the language of the day, and then Jewish was for the Jews. So 3 different languages, so everyone can read it. And those 3 languages, it was a literary custom of the scribes in those days to take the first letter of words in a phrase and put them together to see if there would be a hidden meaning from the arrangement of those letters. We call that acrostics. We play games, acrostic games. You're taking the first letter. Gosh, I'm trying to figure out where else I want to go. You take the first letter of the word and you see if, there's another meaning, you know what I mean? Like IRS kind of thing. So the Jews would do that as well, especially the scribes. Now that one change that Pilate said changed it in a way that the acrostic spelled something totally different, and the scribes did not like it. They wanted him to change it. So I don't know if any of you are Catholic or have been Catholic. In the Catholics, you see INRI over the cross. Usually on the Catholic cross, you'll see Jesus and then INRI. I means Jesus in Latin, because there's no J in Latin, so it's an I in Latin. N stood for Nazareth. R stood for Rex, which means king in Latin. Rex means king in Latin. And I for Jews. Again, no J. So the J was I. So I for Jesus, N for Nazareth, R for Rex or king, I for Jews, which meant Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews, okay? So that's what the INRI stands for and on the Catholic sign. So if any of you were wondering that's what that stands for. Now in John 19:20, many of the Jews read the title. Now in Hebrew, it said Yeshua, Jesus, Henatzri of Nazareth. That's what that means. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, y'all. Henatzri, Vemelech, which means the king, and Hehudin of the Jews. So in Jewish, that's what it said. So Yeshua, Henatzri, Vemelech, Hehudin. So it's YHVH. And if any of you know what that stands for, that's the name of God in Hebrew. It's the tetragrammaton, YHVH, Jehovah, or Jehovah. That's where we get that from. So Pontius Pilate, that's why the scribes did not like that, because that little change, instead of writing the King of the Jews, but I am the King of the Jews, by writing that, they saw YHVH on the titulus, on top of Jesus. And so Pontius Pilate had unknowingly put the acrostic for God for all to see on the titulus. So the sign said, literally, I am God, essentially. And the religious leaders wanted to change it for that reason. That's why they fought against that. So if you read in John, you'll see that the religious leaders were like, no, you have to change that. And he's like, no, what I have written, I have written. Yes, Marpy, yes. And so they threw a little fit, and that's why. Because a lot of people will be like, why did they even care what he wrote on the sign? It's not that big of a deal. But right there, and for anybody reading it, they would have seen that it was saying Jehovah, right there on the sign. So this is the only time, again, if you look, that Pontius Pilate stood his ground in this whole matter of Jesus's death, because like he kept waffling the whole time for people during the whole, like he's like, well, I don't find him guilty of anything, but fine, we'll torture him, or like the whole time he waffled. He never stood firm on anything except on this one matter, and he didn't even realize what he was doing, which is again another thing I find fascinating. That's just that's God for you. So he says, what I have written, and that's in John 19:22. Okay, I'm going back into the what is this? The crown of thorns, and I'm trying to find a brown that I want to use. I guess I can use this with this a little bit darker. I mix my colors all on the palette, y'all. It's watercolor. It all kind of fades out after a while. What two colors am I mixing for the blood? I don't even know. There's no names on these, but it's like a red and then kind of like a purplish red, and then maybe a little brown too to get like the more browner look. So I'm mixing three colors: red, like a brown, and like a purplish red. Maybe like a maroon. Again, because I don't want it to be bright red. I want it to be kind of like splotchy, because that's kind of how blood looks, I guess. I mean, I don't know. So I'm going in now with some darker colors, and I'm just kind of going in where I think the I guess darker areas would be. If that makes any sense. So there'll be a lighter area and a darker area, and this one I'm just doing quickly because I'm going to go back in probably with colored pencil so that I can get a more defined look. But at least here I'm just going to get the shading in. And I'm just going to go in with some water and just kind of, and I'm doing the same thing with the thorns. If that makes sense. So yes, so that was the only time that Pilate stuck to his guns through this whole ordeal. And so he said, what I have written, that's it. It's staying like it is. And I found that interesting as well. And then, so as the Jews were bringing in the Passover lambs, because remember this happened during Passover. So as the Jews were bringing in the Passover lamb to the temple with their name tags. Now, in those days too, they would usually have a name tag on their lamb saying, this lamb is for the La Dolce family, or this lamb is being offered for the Smith family, or whatever. So they would have like a little name tag on the lamb. So again, that's where the Titulus kind of comes in. Jesus was our lamb, and he had his own name tag on there, but his name tag had God's name on there. And so God, it was like God was saying, this is my lamb that I am offering up under my name. And oh my gosh, when I read, I was like, oh, that is so cool. Like, that was God offering up his lamb for Passover. Jesus was our lamb, was his lamb. So I just love God's word. Like, it just overflows with so many really cool little like asides that just, and not only the big stories, but just all the little things. And God, like, he is a God of details. And I just find like all those little details so fascinating, and how man, all the details put together just tell the whole story, I think, even more. So I don't know, y'all, I'm such a geek. I get like so into like all that kind of stuff, and as you can tell, I get excited about it all, and I'm getting distracted. I'm like trying to color and paint and talk and do all this at the same time, but yeah. So this is what I'm doing right now, just adding all the color, and then I'm gonna go into, so while this is drying, I am going to, I'm going to go into the nails now. So I'm just going to take a gray, just a base gray color, just to get gray on the nails. Oh, I need a little bit more. just some gray on the nails. And if for those of you who are like nervous about doing watercolor, I say just go for it. I used to be, because I am not proficient at watercolor at all. But then the more I do it, I can see how it works more now, and I'm getting better at it, I guess. The more I use it and the more I see how it works, the more I can control it a little bit, you know, or get the, I don't know, get the look that I'm looking for, I guess. Okay, so we got the base gray. I always do, like I said, it's easy to do like a base color first, figure out what your base color is going to be, and then you can go back in and add all the details. So at least this way you're getting, you know, a base color in. So while that is drying, I'm going to go back and add some of these little, whoop, that was really dark. We'll just lighten that up a little. Some of these like blood drips. Like kind of dripping off the thorns. And I'm going to go back in and put some blood on the thorns too. Bloody up the thorns a little. So right now I'm just doing some of the little drips. Hi, Angela. Yeah, Kathy, isn't it, like, I find it fascinating. I don't, like I said, y'all probably, I get geeky when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like, it just, yeah. I can do research and just find stuff all day long. And the more I find, the more it just makes me love the Lord more, because I just like, wow, that is just so cool. Like, God, you're so cool. I'm sure he gets a kick out of it, you know? Okay, now I'm going to go in and like start putting a little bit of blood on the thorn parts, like the tips of the thorns. On some of them, you know, just kind of give it a little bit more color. And then it just, man, my heart hurts when I think about what Jesus went through for us. But then the fact that he did it joyfully, I'm just like, wow, you know? So, Murphy, yes, I'm proud to be a Jesus freak, for sure. For sure. Y'all know me. I can literally just sit here and just keep coloring all day long. We won't do that, but I'm going to go in. I'm getting the blood on the tips of these spikes. So these are the thorns that they used. Well, not these, but you know, that. Okay, so let's see. These are almost dry, so I think I can go in with some darker. Now I'm going to go in with like some darker colors and make these nails a little, give them some dimension. So I'm going in with a little bit of brown and black. I don't like using straight black for anything because it's just, nothing's ever black in real life. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Welcome. So I don't like using straight black because, well, that's like more of a purple. Where's my dark brown? Here, down here. Nothing in real life is really ever straight black, not even shadows. So I like doing a variety of colors for shadows and things. So I'm going to kind of go in with these browns. Give it just a little dimension, and then all the details I'll go in with some colored pencils and just add some more details. The stuff that I can't do with a brush here. So who's all crafting along, or are y'all just watching? It's hard. I have a hard time crafting along. Usually I'll watch and then I'll do it on my own afterwards, because it's hard to kind of craft and watch at the same time. Okay, so now let's see. I'm going to do some, like this one. I'm going to do a little bit of splattering on the page. If I can get enough. There we go. Ah, there we go. Much better. You can hit your brush like that, or if you do it with your finger, you'll get little dots. If you do it, you know, like this, you'll get bigger dots. I'm trying not to do too many huge dots, but so I'm doing some splatters, and I'm also going to do some like little blobs, like that. Ooh, that's really dark. Oh, Kathy, you're working with me. Yay! I don't know how y'all can do that. I have a hard time doing that. So here's our verse that we're focusing on. So I'm kind of leaving that empty as much as I can. I mean, there's some splatters on it, but it's kind of cool how the nails, it just did that. That was a happy accident, y'all. So that's cool how the nails just are kind of like focused on that. Okay, so I'm going to dry this because I can't go in with colored pencil until this is dry. So let's just dry this real quick. I know I love splatters too. I think splatters make the page all the time, so I always add splatters. I don't know why. I used to think they were so messy. Adding splatters, I'm like, oh, it looks like you just like splatter stuff all over your page. But now I love the look. It's like, oh yeah. I really gotta get this part because I'm gonna go in on the nails and the crown. That's what I'm gonna focus on. So again, I use about 3 different colors on the crown, like a yellow, a tan, and a brown. I always go with a minimum of 2 to 3 colors on anything, because that I think gives it dimension. And then I use the red, of course, on the thorns. Okay. Okay, how are we on time, y'all? Are we good? Y'all good? You're sticking with me? Because I can just keep going. We'll just keep going. We got to do the lettering too. I've got these red letter stickers, so I'm going to finish with the colored pencils and then I'll go in with the letters. Okay, let me move and wipe this up because I'm making a mess. Okay, so I have a couple different browns here. I'm going to go with the dark first, and I'm going to go in and just kind of give it again some more dimension and shadowing. So the brown is going to go underneath for a shadow. And again, I'm not really picky, or, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, no rhyme or reason, just kind of go with it, and you'll see how it all just kind of starts working together after a while. So just find where you think the shadows would be and go in with your darker color for the shadows. This will give it more dimension as well. But yeah, if any of you have anything that you'd like to know, I can always research it for you. I love doing research. So you're like, what about this? Or what about? I'll be like, I don't know. Let's go look it up. I mean, I was a homeschool mom for 20 some odd years. So anytime we would, you know, be like, wonder how this works, or how does that work? I'd be like, I don't know. Let's go look it up and find out. So I love doing stuff like that. You could also take, if you didn't want to do this, you could take a black pen, which I might do. I don't know. I might, because this was like a kind of a squiggly wiggly type one, you know, like different squiggles like this. And I might just do it with my colored pencil. But I want to really get these shadows going. Am I in camera here, y'all? Can you see this? Okay, and I'm going to go in again into the nails. Yeah, just kind of sketching it in. There's really no rhyme or reason, or no set way. in the shadow. I'll make one side darker, make it look round. Do a little shadow under here. And then finally I will go in with just a tad black just to make it really pop and stand out in a few areas. Just a few. You don't want to add too much black because then your picture gets a little too dark. Unless that's what you're looking for. If you want a dark picture, then yeah. And this could be, I mean, this is a dark page of the Crown of Thorns, so if you want it to be a dark page, then add more. Make it like dark and foreboding and but the black will make it like pop from the page more. But that's only after you do a lot of other colors. If you just do black, it just, I don't know, kind of doesn't give the same effect, I guess. I don't know. Okay, then I have, again, I'm just going to go in and just do just a few little highlights here or there with this yellow. And you could have done this whole thing with colored pencils, yes, but I like the effect of watercolors. You get like that gradation of color along with the colored pencil. The colored pencil just adds like a little bit more, and you get this kind of watery feel with the watercolor. Okay, now I'm just going to add just a little bit more blood to the tips of the thorns. Hey Kay, you're crafting. Welcome, welcome. I hope I'm not missing, hope I haven't been missing all your comments. I've been so busy crafting here and just oh, okay. Well, there's our picture. Now you can add whatever you want to it. I have some of these reddish, they're a little bit darker red, and I'm gonna put No Greater Love on here. And hopefully it'll fit. And then I was going to go around the letters with black. Whoops. They might not stick to the watercolor. We'll see. I might have to put glue on it. Aw, thanks, Angela. Glad you are liking it. Oops, I don't need that part. I need the O part. And then I also have some like heart washi tape. Like love washi tape, and then we can put a topper. So greater, I am going to start with the little letters and work my way backwards because I want it to fit in here. And I'm gonna do it in like a haphazard way, like not in a straight line. I'll show you if you, so y'all can. Kind of like this. Okay, Greater. Trying to spell it backwards, y'all. Like just like like wonky letters. How do you spell greater? Great. So A. It's hard for me to spell backwards. E. Yeah, I have a ton of letter stickers. Where are? So I just go through all my piles of letter stickers and try to figure out like what will match with this page. Oh yeah, this fits perfect. This fits a lot. I could have probably just put it in a line, but this kind of... Uh-oh, I need my... Yep, these are old scrapbooking leftovers. Yep, same with me for sure. Been scrapbooking for about 30 years or so now. So yeah, I have a ton of scrapbooking leftovers, and these are one of them. Okay, no greater, and then love. L-O-V. And there is no greater love, y'all, than what Jesus did for us. My gosh, y'all, I can't even. Reading Diane's, you know, that article she put out about. Let me see. I think I want this to go up a little. That article she put out about the crucifixion. I mean, I've read stuff like that before, but it's just continue. You know, the more you read about it, it's just like, man, like I couldn't even. And then being Mary, his mom, watching that, and I don't know. Just all of it is just heartbreaking, but also exciting, if that makes sense at the same time. I mean, the fact that Jesus did that for us, and like it gets me excited, but it's also just heartbreaking all at the same time. I mean, there's just so many emotions with it. Okay, no greater love. So there we go with that. Wow, I did those stickers pretty quick because usually when I do stickers, it takes me forever, y'all. Like forever. Okay, now I'm going to kind of go in with a black pen. Well, let's see if I can find a black pen that'll work on the watercolor. I got a Sharpie. This should work, hopefully. And I'm just going to kind of outline them a little bit in black. This will make them pop again from the... And not completely outline. I'm just, you know, doing some lines. Sorry, y'all, if my head is getting in the... Keep getting on the sticker. That's not helpful. I guess I'm not doing all the way around. I'm just kind of picking spots here or there, just so these will pop out a little bit more. I keep getting it on the sticker, y'all. Stay off the sticker. If these were chipboard, it'd be easier to do this. And so far, yes, Kathy, exciting to know that we will be forever with the Lord. Amen, amen. Waiting for him to come back. Oh, y'all, okay, this is not biblical at all, but it was so funny today. Okay, so there was a meme out today. You know, I was finally able to get on Facebook and all that today because my power. And there was a meme out that said, okay, y'all, 2020 was the year, how'd they say it? 2020, was hell on earth. 2021 was when hell froze over. And I saw that and I about died laughing, y'all. I know it's not biblical. It's just comedic and it's just funny. And you gotta have your sense of humor in days like this. And I loved it. So I had to forward it. It was just funny. Yeah, 2020 was the year of hell, or, you know, the hell on earth, and then 2021 is the year hell froze over. And I just couldn't help but laugh at that, because you got to keep your humor in days like this, for sure. Okay. So now I'm going to take some of my washi tape. And if I could find the end, oh my gosh, y'all, I always have an issue with this. I can feel it. And then I can't, what in the world? Where's the end on this thing? There it is. Oh. So I'm gonna just take some of this washi tape, and it looks like it's not very sticky, so I gotta find, I'm gonna find my sticky. I hope y'all didn't take offense to that. I hope you find it funny and not, you know, again, it's not a biblical thing. It's just, just for fun. Keep your sense of humor. You know what? I'm gonna tear this. And tear that. I don't like that little pokey point, so we're gonna tear that. And I'm gonna put some up here. Do I want this here? I guess we can put that there for now. Got this red heart one. So I like this one too. Oh. Tear it, come on. Oh. Well, we'll put this one maybe up there. Ugh, I'm all stuck. I don't know. I might keep those, I might not. I'm just sticking them there for now. And then I'll stick this. Right there. Except I think I like the black better, so I'm going to put the black on top of the red. It's a good thing that's going to be covered up. It's tearing my paper. There we go. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, and then I have this one with the heart, and I was thinking of cutting this heart out. I really like, it's like a blood red heart. I love it. So I'm going to use my washi tape and make my own little washi tape stickers. And I'm going to cut this heart out the best I can. Make your own stickers with your washi tape, y'all. Maybe we'll put that like right there. And then I wanted to do like a cup, like a topper too. And I had these little word phrases, and I have, let's see, I have this little topper thing. And I'm thinking if I take another one of those hearts, so let me put this here and cut another one of these hearts out. Oh, lost the end again. So yeah, the memes that have been going around, I think, I like it because it makes me realize and makes me just be thankful that people can keep their sense of humor in the worst of times. And so the memes, I think, are kind of funny because you can find the humor even in the midst of the trials that you're going through, and just the fact that, you know, and people come up with the most hilarious stuff, I think, and I'm just like, where do you even come up with that kind of thing? So I find it, you know, kind of fun with the memes. Okay, so this is going to go up here. Am I in camera, y'all, for y'all to see this? So this we're gonna bend. It's already sticky, so I'm gonna put this one. Do you want it over here? Because I got a tab right here, so this one's got to go here. Oh, yeah, I guess that won't really affect what's on the other side. Oops. I'm gonna have it go down. Well, no, we'll put it right there. I'm gonna put the heart. Maybe, right? Maybe. Where are we gonna put it? Maybe right there. Let's see. And then what kind of? This one has the one I love. Let's see. And this one had, what was the other one? Oh, the real story. I like that just because, like, this is the real story. There's no greater love. And everyone's like, oh, love, you know, I'm in love. I'm like, no, this is the real story of what love is, you know? So that's why I like this one. let me take this off. Maybe use that for like that going across like that. Maybe we can put, maybe we don't need that over. Oh, maybe we can put this one down here. Or tuck it under here, maybe. Then I lose my little red. I could put red up here. Yes, these are, what are these? Cutter bee. Not bumblebee, but cutter bee scissors, yes. Okay, I love my cutter bee scissors for sure. This is how I'm always redoing things, y'all. This is how I craft. I'm always like, no, let's change that. No, let's change that. Okay, so now I'm gonna try to cut this off as best I can. Let's see if I can. Cut that part off. There we go. Okay, yeah. Maybe the heart needs to come on top. Help, y'all! What do I do? I got washi tape pieces everywhere. Okay, let's see. Should we put the heart on top? But I don't want to cover the words, so maybe like right there. What do you think? Oh, I had this heart too. Oh well. we'll save that for something else. But I think that's it. What do y'all think? What is this piece? Oh, that's a piece of sticker from the other side. Let me cut that off. Y'all still sticking with me? So there we go. Let me take this out. Move all this to the side. So let me bring this up close so y'all can see. Okay, so here's the top with the little tab up here. The real story. This is the true love story. No greater love than to give your life up for somebody else. And Jesus did that for us. And I just love that. Oh, thank you, Jesus. So hope y'all enjoyed. Thank y'all for spending the afternoon with me. Again, if you haven't ever watercolored, I say just grab your watercolors and just go for it and try it and just have fun with it and just splatter it on your page. And look, beauty can come from splatters, because that's all this really was just splatters. So just, throwing it on there. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. And so glad our power is back on and I could join y'all. I was so looking forward to it yesterday, and then literally all the power went out. I was like, no! And so that's the part that I missed the most. So where did I get the crown of thorns? Okay, where is my piece of paper? I actually saw a couple, you can take a picture of this if you want. I actually saw a couple different crown of thorn clip arts and pictures of nails and the crown. And then I saw somebody do a page where they combined the two. So I took a couple different various clip arts and the nails, and I just kind of sketched it out on my own. And then I took this and took my carbon paper and just put this on and traced it in for the carbon paper to have the image in my Bible. So that's where I got that. So you can take this. I posted it in the group. You can take that and maybe take a picture of it and then print it out. Or you can just, there's a lot of clip art pictures of crowns of thorns. You could just take a clip art and then just trace it into your Bible and then just add whatever you want to add into it. So hope that helps you, Kathy. Thanks, other Kathy. Thanks, the other Kathy. Lots of Kathys. So thanks, y'all, so much for joining me. I hope you have a very blessed afternoon. I will put up another video, Let's Bible Journal Together, tomorrow on the Be Prepared. Let me see if I have a picture of that. I just did this morning, y'all, and I was talking about being prepared like in real life. Let me see. I think it was in John. Oh, y'all. I can't remember. No, it was in Matthew. Sorry. It was right here. Here we go. So I did this with watercolor this morning. So I will have a List Bible Journal on this. I'll post it tomorrow. So if y'all want to do one like that, you can craft along with me as well. So thank you. Thanks for joining me. Any other questions? I'll give you a couple minutes before I turn off. Marpy, let me know if you need anything. We live so close, I can bring something over to your house. You can come over here for heat if you guys want, food, whatever. So, okay. Well, y'all, have a very, very blessed afternoon. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.